Hi there. In this video, we're going to look at the Manage Recall page of the Recall Overview, and particularly the information that's displayed here. We used to have all this information on the front screen, but we found that was getting a bit busy and people were getting a bit overwhelmed. So we've sort of simplified the front screen, and then more detail is found here. Some bits are the same, so the top stuff is largely the same, but there's more detail if you want to see what's been going on for the patient. So things like invites in the last few years, the fact that this patient is due to be sent a reminder to attend their annual review. You can see this patient has regular monitoring every 6 months. And then we get into why the monitoring is needed. And there's a mixture here. So we've got some one-off requests, things that I've added when I've been testing things and demoing this stuff for this patient. And then we've got medications. So for each of these, if you click on the drop down, you can see what monitoring is in place. If you see those 3 stars, it means that you can right-click action, and that will launch sort of relevant website or guidance that explains a bit of what we're doing and why. If you've just added a medication to a patient's record, it won't update immediately in here, just because these are called status alerts in System 1. There's 2 ways to kind of check for them. One is that you right-click on one and click reevaluate. That will then find any others, or you can just save the record, go back in, and you'll see the impact of any changes you might have made. Generally, these are based upon what's on current repeat for the patient. Conditions are generally based upon what's been coded in the record. Numerics appear less often, but it's things like, say, if someone's had an EGFR below 60, but then never actually been diagnosed with CKD, it might flag there that we'd include UNE and ACR at their next annual review, that kind of thing. You can also see times when sometimes things are being included in our monitoring, not because it's needed in and of itself, but to interpret other results. One of the principles we work on is that if a patient is attending for, say, the annual review and they're having a lipids blood test, we're taking that because we might be wanting to start or titrate a statin or similar. Therefore, it makes sense to include LFTs or ALTs at the same time. What we don't want is the patient to come in, realize they then need to be started on a statin, and then ask them to come back for those bloods. So the system tries to do a bit of working out, and in this sort of detail, you can generally see why the system's doing what it's doing. You can also see current repeats for the patient, what their last BP was, and then pathology reports in the last 18 months. Just sort of handy reference often when you're in this screen. Obviously, it will vary quite a bit patient to patient. It can be a lot of stuff, but if you take your time and get used to it, you generally find it a useful place to find the information you're after. Thanks.